superstar from Austintown, Fitch, Sydney Wattage, joining us. Sid, thank you so much for taking the time to be with us here on Running Point today.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so here it is. This season starts off. I want to talk a little bit about last season and some of the things that you learned from last season, because you stepped on the stage last year. You had such an incredible year, and it was your freshman year. Now you step back into a sophomore season where you have to kind of balance that whole expectations of the success of last year and then just try to go out and have fun with your team. How have you handled the mentality of this year after all the success that you had last season as a freshman?
I just go out there and have fun with my team. That's pretty much all it is. Yeah, just going out there and having fun with my girls.
You know, it's fun when we see teams go up against you and go up against Fitch. It's like the biggest game of their lives. They want to go up. They want to play against Sydney Watts. They want to play against Fitch. They want to see what you bring to them in the circle. What's that like, knowing that every time you step in, like, everyone knows about you, everyone knows what you and this Falcons team bring to the table, and no matter whether it's league or out of conference or even teams that you play way out of the region, they're looking at this Fitch team like this is the biggest game on our schedule. What's that like for you guys?
I just feel like it's really good knowing that the hard work's paying off for all of us.
Let's talk about your summer. Obviously, you spent the summer with a travel ball team that goes and plays in national tournaments against, the best competition that you could ever find. A bunch of D1 commits, a bunch of Power 5 commits on and against you. What was that like this year, to be able to spend the summer doing that and to be able to kind of expose yourself to that kind of level of softball?
It was really fun. I love traveling with the team, especially the Dukes team. They were a great group of girls. The competition down there was really good, but still, Ohio has really good competition.
Ohio really does. I mean, you look at the pitchers just in your conference, and nothing else, with Melena Toth and the ones that Boardman can bring at you. They have 3 arms that they can throw. What's it like to just navigate this AAC? I know that's the first goal in this team's mind, is to win the AAC. What's it like knowing that, like, you don't even have to go outside of the conference to see really good pitching?
It's great just knowing that the talent around here is just great compared to anywhere else.
When we talk about your summer and the experiences you had, what kind of things did you think you worked on this summer and in the off season to get better? What would you add to your toolbox? What would you add to your toy chest as far as things that you could attack hitters with from last year to this year?
A lot of it was my mental game. Being in the boot over the fall really made me develop that, and just having to be strong. And a lot of it was working on my spin too. Being not able to throw hard, like, while being in the boot, really helped me, like, learn my spins better.
How much was that really a help to you? I mean, you talk about being able to spin the ball. I mean, last year, maybe the mentality at sometimes was just, I can outthrow you. I can get you out just with my velocity alone, but now you know that you can have the velocity, but you can spin the ball too, and you can go the off-speed route. What do you think that's done for you in the circle?
I feel like it's really helped. Being a hitter too, I feel like speed is something that is good, but if you have speed and spin, it's really hard to hit.
And we talk about the mental aspect of the game. And one of the things that I always find interesting when I'm talking about the players like you, the players that are known throughout the area, like I said in the top, it comes with expectations. Everyone kind of expects Sydney Watts to be this big name and to be, going off and doing great things. How do you handle that mentally? The idea that everyone on the, is expecting so much out of you.
I just go in it knowing that everybody's allowed to have a bad day. If I do have a bad day, my team's back there to back me up, and I just pitch.
A lot of kids don't listen to the expectations that other people have of them. They set their own expectations and they stick with that. So what I want to ask you, what are the goals that you have set? Where's the bar that you set for yourself that you try to focus on, so you don't have to hear and listen to the expectations from the outside?
I really don't have goals. I just work hard, and I just like seeing the hard work pay off.
When you step on the field, though, like, what are some expectations? Like, if I do this tonight, then I'll have a good game in my mind. What would be that answer for you? If I do this tonight, then I'd have a good game.
Probably just do the best I can that day.
You guys get to play a lot of teams from outside the area. what has the advancements in technology and the game changer and the fact that you can find these hitter stats, and for some of these game changers you can find video of the at bats and scouting, what has that done for you as a pitcher to be able to really know how to attack the hitters before you even step on the field against these teams?
Um, just like you said, being able to go back and watch the videos of them playing previous games is really big. Just knowing like, oh, they can hit this pitch, they can't hit this pitch, so maybe I'll focus more on whatever pitch they aren't as good at.
How much do you think your softball IQ and being able to spot that kind of thing has grown from last year to this year?
I feel like my summer had a lot to do with that. Just facing that competition and knowing, okay, if I am not on hitting my spots, then the ball will be put in play.
I say it all the time. This sport is built to make you fail. It's a hard sport. It's a sport that you're not going to have your best day every day. You're not going to have your best day hitting every day. What are some things you tell yourself during those times to keep yourself even and to keep yourself positive and confident?
Just knowing that I have my defense behind me while I'm pitching and offense, like it's just knowing that no matter what happens, we will be able to produce more runs and make the outs.
I saw a Facebook post this morning and it's from Tommy Watts that says that you walked him. It's stirring up some stuff. So clear the air. I mean, did that really happen or is he lying?
He's lying. I did
He's
not
lying
lie.
straight up. You strike him
Yeah,
out.
he watched strike three right down the middle.
When you think about that kind of stuff, it's always fun to go up against some people and to be able to, tell people to give you a hard time. Okay, get in the box. Let's see. Who are some other people that you would like to see? Like, hey, get in the box every now and then, just to see what it's like to go up against you.
I don't know. I want to definitely pitch my dad again, so there's no way he could say I won.
When you think about some of the toughest hitters you faced, who are some guys, who are some at bats and some hitters and some competition that come to mind that think, man, I'm going to enjoy going up against them for the next 2 years of my high school career?
Definitely Tori Strine. She put the ball in play a lot when we played Boardman, and she's just an overall great player.
All right, we have to talk about your battery. It's you and McKenna Hogan again, and you guys have been running the show. She does so good at handling her pitchers. Obviously, she caught with Lydia Spalding before you came to Fitch as well. What makes her such a good catcher? What do you think it is about McKenna that makes her so personable and so easy to kind of trust and have that relationship with as a pitcher catcher has to?
We just have a really good bond on and off the field, and I feel like that contributes a lot to how we work together on the field. She's like a big sister to me, and just kind of like we just clicked when I came to Fitch.
Last year, we already knew how big that relationship was. You were already best friends last year, but it's always growing, right? The relationships constantly grow. How much have you grown with your friendship with McKenna this year?
Again, we're really close off the field, and I feel like just she's always there for me, and I know that going into the games, like even if it's anything softball related, anything non-softball related, she's there for me.
You look at this roster that you have this year, there are a lot of either freshmen or girls that are stepping up into new roles on varsity. And they all have to be looking at you as one of the leaders of this team. Even though you're just a sophomore, you're just kind of one of the people that naturally has people looking up to them. What has that been like for you to kind of bring some new players onto this varsity level and kind of show them what the standard of Fitch is and try to lead them the best you can?
It's really good knowing that they look up to me, but I try and just like comfort them because a lot of them are nervous going into the games. And I'm just like, it's a game. We play it all the time. Just go in and have fun.
What kind of leadership qualities do you think you bring to the table? I mean, what's it been like seeing yourself grow into a leader from freshman to sophomore year?
I think again, it's just like I have fun. I am not a high like tense person, so I just make everybody feel better.
Was that something coming into this year? Like, okay, I know I'm going to have to be a leader of this team and I'm going to have to kind of step up that. Was that something that you knew coming into this year and you tried to work on your confidence to go and lead people? Or was that something that you think you already had and you just were able to do it?
I feel like that's something I already had and I was able to do it.
When you talk about this coaching staff, obviously we have to bring up Steve Ward and what it's like being under him for a second year and the coaching staff you have. I know you and your pitching coach and the people that call the pitches obviously have a great relationship with you as well. What's it been like being under the people that you are for Fitch, and what has made that so special?
Um, Again, I feel like that's just the coaches knowing that they're there for us with softball related and non-softball related. Coach Ward, we go to his room like 20 times a day. Just the players, just we talk to him on and off the field. And then Coach Becky, I work with her all the time. She is like just always there for me, always helping me do stuff. And with her working with Lydia before me and Lydia going to the same pitching coach as me, she just knows so much about how I pitch and we just work together.
This is going to be a scary question for people that have to go up against you, especially the ones that have to go up against you for the next couple of years. But it's so you're putting up such good numbers, and people will probably think that you're like one of the best pitchers in the state. But great players always find things to get better at. So when you're looking at your game and you're watching yourself pitch and you're in the bullpen, you're working on stuff. What are you working on? What are you trying to get better at so you can constantly improve?
A lot is my control. I feel like I need to get better at throwing first pitch strikes and just getting ahead of the batters because keeping my pitches down is like something we really wanted to focus on this year. So I'm not getting burnt out before summer and just making sure my control's there.
All right, so you think about the experience in last year's tournament. You guys went to the regional final. You fell just short against North Canton Hoover. What did that experience teach you about this year, and how hungry has that made you to try to get back to that step and try to punch that ticket to Firestone Stadium?
It taught us that we just need to work harder. I feel like we were kind of getting like level-headed going into that game, and we're like, oh, we got this. But Hoover has a great team, and they're nobody you can take lightly. So I just feel like we needed to work a little bit harder there.
You guys had so much fun at the beach and you played so well down there. And every time a team goes to a beach or travels somewhere south, I always ask them what's it like coming back to Ohio after that. And obviously, the first day after that, it was cold. And then you guys have to go and play. What was it like to come back from the beach and try to take all the lessons that you've learned from the beach right back into playing teams in our region back in the first time back from the beach?
It just felt nice to be back like at home and playing in front of like our home, just our home. Um, Myrtle was a really good tournament. We did very good, and I feel like it just taught us a lot.
A lot of people are interested in your college decision, right? They see you going to all these, the camps and all the coaches you're able to talk to and all your interests. And everyone asks me, hey, where do you think Sydney Watts is going to go? And I don't know. So when I want to ask you, I'm not going to ask you where you're going to go. That's kind of silly. You have a lot of time to figure that out. But you are starting to look and you are starting to go to these camps and meet these coaches. What kind of things do you like? What kind of things do you look for? What kind of things make you say this is going to be someone that might be on my list when you look at these camps and these colleges that you're able to go to?
I really like seeing the players bond with the coaches. That's something that's really big for me, knowing that the coaches will be there for me. And yeah.
What's it been like just to see all these different programs and maybe meet some of these players and see the stadiums and kind of feel that atmosphere of the next level?
It is great. Just the facilities that these colleges have are unlike no other. Like they're just amazing. And the coaches, just being able to work with them before you get to the schools is just I love going to camps just to be able to work with their coaches.
How do you compartmentalize the everything that can be stressful about the recruiting process and all the stuff that you have to worry about with that, with just like you said at the top of this interview, just going out there and having fun and trying to be the best you can be for Fitch without having to worry about all that? How do you compartmentalize that and still trying to do your job and try to get yourself to the best place possible at the next level as well?
Just working hard. As long as I continue to work hard, I will be where I want to go.
You work so hard, and everyone that works as hard as you do has a drive, has something that gets them through those days where they don't want to. What's that for you? What's that drive? What gets you through the days that maybe you don't want to work as hard as you do?
Just knowing the outcome will be worth it.
We talked about how you were a role model and then people look up to you. And I'm sure there's a lot of younger girls that aren't even in high school yet that are looking up to you now. What kind of advice do you give to those people when they come up to you and they ask you for advice?
Like I said before, just keep working no matter how hard it gets. The outcome will pay off.
What's the biggest form of advice you've gotten as you were growing up into the softball world and you started to kind of grow into the player that you are now?
Probably never take anybody lightly. I feel like that one was something I really had to learn. No matter who they are, you have to just try your hardest that day and do your best.
All right, Sid, I want to get to know you a little bit off the field because everyone just talks about your softball ability, but you are more than a softball player, so I want to expose that a little bit. Let's have some rapid fire questions. What is your favorite childhood Saturday morning cartoon?
SpongeBob.
SpongeBob. Okay. Now, if you could put yourself like in the world of SpongeBob, what character do you think best represents your personality?
Probably SpongeBob because I'm kind of like loud and crazy.
But what about some of your do any of your teammates represent other characters? Like do you think like, hey, this person is this or this person is this?
Uh, I feel like Maddie Butis might be Patrick.
Okay. When you think about some of the things that you enjoy doing outside of the sport, what comes to mind?
Um, just being with my family and friends. I love just spending time with the people I love.
With your travels for the sport of softball, you've gotten to see a lot of places. What are some of your favorite spots to be, whether that be for a vacation or this favorite spots that you've been in your life?
I love California. That is my favorite state. Period. I love that you can like there's beaches, different beaches everywhere, and just I loved Hollywood. Everything was just so it was fun.
Where's one place that you haven't been yet that you would want to be in the future?
Probably Hawaii.
When you think about some of the people that you would call role models in your own life, who do you think come to mind?
My dad, my parents, both my parents, they always push me to do my best, and yeah.
What's your favorite color?
Blue.
Does that change for different stuff, or is it like universal? Like favorite color car, blue. Favorite shoes, blue. Shirts, blue. Whatever it may be. Is it all blue, or is it just blue for certain things?
It's just blue for certain things.
All right. So, what's your dream car then? If we brought up the car, what kind of cars would you want to drive if money wasn't an option and you could go in and drive anything? What would it be?
A white Jeep.
Would it be blue?
No, a white Jeep.
Oh, you said white. I didn't. Okay. A white Jeep. Okay. What are some things that you spend too much money on?
Starbucks.
What's your Starbucks order?
A strawberry acai, but they got rid of the raspberry, so just a strawberry acai with lemonade.
So disappointing. So disappointing. What is your favorite pregame routine before you get to a field?
Braiding my hair. My hair has to be braided before every single game.
Same way?
No, it just has to be in two braids at the top. Usually the bottom changes, like the ponytail changes.
Who's the team stylist? Like who's the best at doing the hair on the team?
McKenna. She usually always does it during fifth period, which is our lunch. So yeah, McKenna.
That's who you go to. All right. Sydney, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today. We wish you the best of luck going forward. We love having you on the show. You're welcome anytime. You just give us a text. We'll get you on. Thanks for the time, and we'll see you again real soon.
Thank you so much.
You got it.